All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Soup, and I'm co-casting with Boit today.
Yes, we had some technical difficulties, but it looks like we've sorted them out. And I'm so very happy to see that the game still looks like there's lag when I just saw that villager just froze then. But
Yeah, ever so slightly, but it does look like it's all right now.
okay, that's great. Fantastic. First game going to Nullus. I'm glad to have you here. I've been wanting to do more duo casts,
Oh yeah, for sure.
especially as it's
I'm
getting
happy to
late
be
and
here
I'm,
too.
and I'm dying.
What time is it in Perth right now?
12:40 in the AM.
It's nothing. It's nothing.
It's nothing. It's nothing. What did you think of that first game? Really well executed by Nullus.
Oh yeah, for sure. I kind of expected it was going to be like that. And I said from the beginning, if Kimo wants any chance to win here, he would have to have a Titan and a Wonder. But it didn't seem like he even planned for that. It wasn't part of his game plan.
Yeah, I mean, personally, I think that there is a way to play the Ra versus Hades matchup, but the best maps are the ones where you've got that safe hunt that he had. And if you just don't farm in the classical age, you can
Yeah.
go mass chariots, towers, and basically play like you're playing like the set variant, except with Patsukos, which are better, with stronger chariot archers, and also having a heroic age rain to get you to the mythic age. But I think
Yeah,
that's
I
something.
guess. But then I've seen enough Nullus versus Egyptian games just to know that he somehow always just manages to defend himself.
Yeah,
Even against like the really big heroic age power spikes that you're talking of here. He manages to defend himself so well.
yeah. I mean, Nullus is arguably the best defender in the game right now, and he is playing the
Oh
best
yeah.
defensive god. So it all works for himself.
Yeah. And I mean it's just this Hades versus Egyptian matchup. I think it's like his specialty. Maybe Uranus too, but honestly it's just he plays it so well. And
Yeah.
Kimo is going for Isis again, or Egyptian again. This time around, he's going Isis. Sort of like a mini Anatolia type of map here. What do you think of it?
Yeah, I mean, I don't believe this map is close to Anatolia. I don't think that the Anatolia theory works here at all for ISIS. There's the
No,
reason.
because there's
Yeah,
how many is it? Six times two, 12 fishing spots available, and this is actually a high fishing spot map
yeah,
or spawn.
yeah. The other thing is like on Anatolia, the theory is you grab the center control, you get all the gold, you get the gold stuff. On this map, you can have back gold, you can have top gold, bottom gold, you can have two forest spawns, three forest spawns. All this kind of stuff is it does not play into the advantages that ISIS brings on a map like Anatolia at all.
Yeah, it's true. But did you see the gold mine here for Nullus, like over on the right? Like, this is so safe and so secure. And even a third gold mine that's very easily defendable for him.
Yeah, he's got
So
so
you're
much.
right. The sort of the fast heroic where you just use Ancestors Eclipse offensively early on and you just grab map control, it's not going to be as effective when the gold mine is available to us right here.
But that being said, you still have the fish boom. You've still got that boosted economy, and when the question always kind of gets raised with this Hades god right now, and it's like Hades obviously incredibly strong right now because his late game is arguably the best. It's arguably the best in the game. You got the Gash defeat. He's got all this crazy late game access
Yeah,
to
I
things,
would say it's the best.
but there's still the timing aspect that you have to worry about playing Hades, where you don't get certain other boosts to your military or whatever you want to think about, which fishing ships and all this boosted stuff can help give an advantage for an ISIS here. So we'll have to see if Kimo can work it out or not.
Yeah, he's going to have to make some form of timing push where you really push your advantage as Egyptian versus Hades here. So you find yourself a spot, whether it's like early heroic or if it's like you get 3 TCs and then you make a big push, whatever it is, you're going to have to find a sweet spot where you say, this is where I push my advantage. Because otherwise, if you're just raiding a bit, if you're just advancing, you grab a TC here and there, you're just going to find yourself in late game and basically play into the hands of Hades, and you don't want to do that.
Yeah, 100%. We did actually see, I believe, this exact matchup, and Kimo played it against Joe. No, Nullus played it against Joe.
Oh yeah,
And
how'd that go?
I believe that Joe went for that timing push. He got his Osiris out. It was all working, and then his army just fell absolutely flat. His economy just couldn't put the pressure on anymore. And it's like,
Yeah,
I think if you're going to make it work at all, you've really got to be adding on like migdols and watchtowers on that position you're putting all of that pressure onto. Saying it's
yeah, exactly. Like you really have to go all in on that one really good attack that you are going to make.
Yeah.
So Kimo, he's grabbing a second TC, slightly slower than Nullus. Nullus sending 7 villagers, and he's got Minotaur. No heroes out just yet, actually. Only now Ajax coming out.
Yeah. Part of me feels like there is a lot of value in delaying those heroes of Greek in these sorts of maps where you can't do anything with them. Like there's no need to defend, there's no need to be aggressive. You delay them to get your town centers up. You just get that slight edge over someone who just mindlessly buys the heroes because that's what everyone does. And
and there's some part of metagaming to it too, because you see Kimo, he's respecting the early heroes.
Yeah.
So he's bought 3 additional priests. He's probably got the upgrade too. Yeah. Like he spent 400 gold on defending those early classical age heroes, but they're not even there. But still, Nullus gets a lot of value out of just the threat being there.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, the 4 priests, it's not like it's a bad investment. They're still going to be there. They're still like good healing units that kill off the myth units as well. But the fact that he has to get them early means he could have had a third town center now up.
Yeah, exactly. Had he known that there would be no early heroes, he could have just got the third TC and he could be at 80 villagers at like 11 minutes into the game or so.
Yeah.
And these 4 heroes, I don't think they're going to do much. For now, we'll see. Null's grabbing a third TC. He's got his Catastrophos over in Kimo's third TC, so he's probably looking to maybe control this area if he can.
We're going to be doing a slight move of the scoreboard. Hopefully this works. My scoreboard is designed for my UI, and the timer is very much
right, because I probably have a different UI than you do.
Yeah, your timer is getting blocked by my scoreboard, so I'm gonna move it.
Oh,
and
yeah.
it's like I'm watching it on the Streamlabs, and it's just going. But it's pretty good. We're just gonna sort it out. It's all good.
Yeah. What do you think Kimo's plan is here? He's going Nephthys now. He's getting Shaft Mine, and he's probably setting up for a big attack here. But there will be Sentinels and a bunch of military production buildings here.
Well, Chariot Archer, Siege Tower, Scorpion Man has been a staple. But when you have the fishing boost as well, it allows you to get elephants out. So if you're going to be going for this sort of an attack, you almost have to have elephants added in. And to get elephants added in, you need to have migdols. So 2 migdols, 3 migdols, this kind of thing. So
the problem with the elephants is that they actually kind of lose to Toxotes. If you have like 20 Toxotes out, which is fairly easy for Nulls to get to at this point, those elephants are going to melt, and they cannot dodge him. They cannot even retreat because of how slow they are.
Yeah, they're an all-in force, and I'm not suggesting to just build elephants. I'm saying a couple of elephants, chariot archers, and you need like double migdol to make that work.
We're seeing a migdol here. Strange location, I think. It's neither aggressive or that defensive, but we'll see what Kimo has planned for it. Lost his Sphinx there. It's a barracks too, not producing anything as of right now. Building a market over here, maybe trying to set up an early trade route.
Yeah, I really love.
Have you seen the amount of walls that Nullus has built already?
No, I love it and I hate it. Nullus's ability to build walls and control the map. I mean, obviously all the Greek players are doing it, but he just seems to be, he's always on top of it. He's always like constricting the Egyptian players. And it's something that I think Egyptian players need to start adding into their builds is getting those walls out themselves. It's not like Nullus can stop you. He's not building any military. So you can get the walls out just as easily as the Greek player can. It's just that it's not a part of the strategy for an Egyptian player.
And also you can sort of predict it happening, and you can place a single spearman over in this location. Look, Nullus, he always does this. I'll just place one single spearman here, and that'll give me a free villager kill, and it'll stop that wall from going up. All he really does is you have to spend 70 resources on that type of prediction.
You almost have to be putting effort into it.
Otherwise, I remember it was Magic when he was still playing, and he was playing a lot versus Matreus, and he always complained that Wadgets didn't deal enough damage versus the villagers. He couldn't stop those walls from going up.
Yeah. Well, the Wadget nerf that got put in to block to stop an Egyptian cheese, then also stops the ability to stop the Greek cheese.
Yeah,
you make one change and another thing happens.
Dude, he's just walling more and more right now, and Kimo is not going to get a trade route up at this pace here.
I'm not following how Kimo isn't it. I mean, he obviously grabbed the late third town center, and that's why Nullus is hitting this timing, but Kimo should be at full population here, right? It's 10 minutes, 11 minutes into the game. He does have some good upgrades on his spearmen, but...
You'd have Siege out as well, other than this one Siege tower. He should be threatening Nullus somehow. There's a defensive Ancestors Eclipse. You really hate to see that as an Egyptian player. Nullus just fighting it. Finally deciding to retreat, though.
Yeah, it's always a slow one to get out of there, but... You have to run.
With the Hibicons and with the Chiron, like, they're good at retreating from a spot like this. Toxotes kind of melding, though.
It's like, this is this is why, one of the reasons why I'm not a fan of building Toxotes is against at least Isis. Ancestors Eclipse comes down and all my Toxotes die. But Nullus gets out of there really, really nicely. He's still fighting the Ancestors, but he's in a nice defensive position now.
Oh, it's a great position. Like, these Ancestors are not getting any more value, basically.
Yeah. And this is the part in the game which Isis needs to move in and slam towers and migdols down on this position. Otherwise, the Ancestors Eclipse is going to go, and he's just going to break through your army, just like he was before.
Yep. Look at the Kimo's economy. He's got his Pharaoh in position. He's got a bunch of gold right here. He could easily build 2 Migdals. Well, it's not a lot of space here, to be honest, but he could build 1 Migdal stronghold and then follow up with towers right here.
I mean, the other thing...
While sieging down these forward military production buildings, obviously.
What are your actual... I mean, I know you're the Norse expert, so maybe you can weigh in with the Norse understanding of how this all works. But what do you think about spearmen here? If you see a Hades player as Norse going Hippocon Toxotes, would you ever build Ulfsark?
Oh no, I would never do that.
Right. So this is my thought process as well. I wouldn't build spearmen here either. Even if they do have a bonus.
All of these horses, then how do you counter them?
You got to make Scorpion Man. Yes. You got to make towers. I think that you don't need the spearmen. I think that they take up too much food and slow down, and they give too much of a target for the Toxotes. You can also try a couple of cavalry with the, not a lot, just like 2 or 3 cavalry with the chariot archers to snare the Hippocon, to allow your chariot archers to start fighting and the hitting in the early stages of the fight.
It always feels so bad building cavalry, though, if you're not Ra, because even as Ra, they're not the best unit. But then, if you don't have that Ra bonus to boot, they're even worse units.
Yeah. It's just a tough unit composition to be working out.
Yeah, and it's why, I mean, I would say Greek counters Egyptian basically, and it is because Egyptian doesn't really have that unit composition that just wins it for them.
Yeah. It's like it's not brainless. Of course, everything is taking a monumental amount of skill, but the ball is kind of always in the Egyptian player's court to kind of figure out how to break the Greek nowadays, because they can't just sit back and hope that their mercenary can carry them through.
Yeah, even if they set up the amazing trade route with, I don't know, 25, 30 caravans and with the empowered market and everything, it's not going to win you the game versus late game Greek with armory of Hephaestus and all of that.
Yeah, yeah. But one big thing that we are seeing here is that Osiris is on the way.
Oh,
and with Osiris,
City of the Dead too.
nearly a dead pharaoh, but with Osiris comes another pushing power here. And one thing we haven't quite discussed here is the fact of this map is it's a very difficult map to get to that back corner. And one thing that Isis can do and Egyptian can do much better than the Greek player can do is get that wonder up. And I hate to say it, but sometimes this matchup does feel like from the Egyptian side, the only winning condition you have at a certain point is going to be a wonder. And I wonder if Kimo's going to be rushing for it.
I really think so. I think when Kimo walks into a game, Egyptian versus Nullus, Hades in particular, you got to plan out, when do I get my Titan and how do I follow up with a Wonder? You should always be macroing towards this because he's going to have his Son of Osiris now. He's going to follow it up with catapults, hopefully. And maybe it'll work for a minute or two, but eventually Nullus will be able to push back, especially with Hephaestus coming in now. He's going to have all the armory upgrades. He's going to have all the amazing late game Greek units and this Mythic Age army. Even with Son of Osiris here, it's just not going to cut it.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to wait and see. I mean, the one thing that Kimo's not doing here is he's not fortifying this position. He needs to be putting towers up. He's got a ton of wood income and a ton of food income. And he needs to
He's actually gold up right now, except for this one back gold. He's struggling to get to this forward gold here.
Yeah, I mean, at the very least, you can put a market in that back corner, and it's pretty good. Back corner market to the Ford Town Center is nearly as good as a corner market to the hometown center, I guess.
You mean the really safe trade route from here to here?
Yeah, it's almost as good.
Yeah, it's good. I usually refer to that as a Kimo trade route. He does that a lot.
That's right.
It's so frustrating to play against.
Yeah.
Here we go. Like, Son of Osiris is continually hitting, and he's getting the chariot archers fired over to the unit here. And there's towers coming up too now. This is what you were talking about. This is Kimo trying to push his advantage right now.
If you can get 4 Kren guard towers up here, those Hippocon become useless, and they force Nullus to make a tech switch into hoplites, which he doesn't want to do because there's all these chariot archers here.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's a good point. And Son of Osiris being tired down by the fortress right now, not retreating, getting his shit together again.
He's getting a lot more value out of this Son of Osiris here. And, I mean, Nullus is still at full population, but...
Dude, have you seen these upgrades coming in for Nullus? Champion Archers, Champion Cavalry, Irrigation, Forge of Olympus.
It's, I mean, this is what happens when you get a boom war happening. It's just get all your upgrades by 16 minutes into the game.
Yeah, but it also, it really, it just goes to show how much pressure Kimo is under right now. Because in a minute or two, Nullus is going to be able to push back here, even with towers up. There's Telepolis coming in, there's a Colossus. It's so hard for the Egyptian army to take care of these big Greek units. But 2 catapults and 4 towers soon. We could see Kimo actually taking down this TC, even if it is Hades. He doesn't even have Masons yet.
There is this part of me, this gut-wrenching feeling that says even if Nullus loses the town center, if that Son of Osiris falls here, Nullus can push back. So he's got to be really careful. He's got to be really careful.
There's so little damage back up for the Egyptian army if Son of Osiris is not there. These chariot archers take up 3 population, and they deal 11.9 damage versus Toxotes dealing 9.1 and 9.7 now. When these armory upgrades are gonna come in, the Toxotes are gonna be dealing equal amounts of damage to these chariot archers almost. for 2 population versus 3.
Yeah, I mean, it's a really, really tight moment here. I'm surprised to see no effort from Nullus. I mean, he's trying to put all his resources into the defense, but imagine a couple of Gash Defeaties here and a commitment into an earlier burning pitch at that top town center. He's already got the wall set up.
Yeah, he could do that. He is getting the 3 weapons, mail, and shields upgrades now, and I think, honestly, Nullus, he's losing his TC here. Gonna be interesting to see if he can keep up production here. 20 population down right now. Son of Osiris still well alive. Only 2 towers remaining, though.
Yeah, I mean,
Interesting here.
It's working out for Kimo, but I mean, Nullus is still in front on the score, and he's got much more economy than Kimo does. Kimo's actually cut his villages down to 61 already, as he is putting everything into this attack. I mean, he does have 12 fishing ships as well, so it's kind of like he's still sitting in 80 villages nonetheless, but he's putting everything
And that's
into
the catapult down, actually. Nullus is rebuilding his TC, and there's no catapult. It's gonna be hard for Kimo to keep this TC down, actually.
Yeah, I mean, taking down one Hades town center, it's never the game over. You can also sometimes see Hades players and Greek players at this point just say, I need the town center up. Let me just put all of my stuff into this. This is some great building tower blocking there, but it looks like the town center is going to be denied yet again here.
For now, just for now, it's gonna... How many villagers are there now? 10 villagers, 12 villagers. There's no Aphrodite upgrade, though. I think Nullus would wish he had that right now, but he doesn't.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's got Apollo, so I mean, even if he can't get the town center back up, there's always that opportunity to just say, no worries, let me just go kill off one of your town centers.
Oh yeah, for sure. But it's looking like it's going up now, isn't it? There's no catapult in for Kimo. Like he should have more towers here, and he should have a catapult walled in by now.
Yeah.
But it just isn't there. And now I think it's gonna be incredibly hard for Kimo to keep up the pressure.
Yeah,
We have all the armory upgrades in for Nullus right now.
He's just missing that iron weapons, and it's 75%. Burning pitches also started, and that effectively means if you take a look at the top side of the map, I'm sure those villagers are moving up there. He's going to start putting an archery range down, and it's going to be a tough time. Oh, and the villagers meeting in the middle on that wood line there, as well as a little bit of a something that's going to cause some issues in the next couple of minutes.
Yeah, maybe it'll be like that Christmas during World War One. Just don't do anything to each other.
Maybe. Oh, nice guy.
But Nullus really pushing back now. Really pushing back now. He is back at 160 population, and he's got 3 Helepolis on the field. It's gonna be so hard for Kimo to deal with.
Yeah, and now this is the moment where Isis needs to build spearmen. Right? You don't need to build spearmen before the Heliopolis come out. You build them when the Heliopolis come out, and they're only there to kill Heliopolis because they get a crazy boot bonus against them.
Hoplites are in the mix now too for Nullus. Only medium so far, but still, they're there. Osiris' son just about to go down. Stays alive with 6 HP. Oh my god, is the villager kill on it? Oh, so close.
Sniped. I mean, at least Kimo here is able to start moving into the corner and continuing. The question is, can he defend?
Kimo doesn't know about this gold mine, I'm pretty sure. He's scouting for gold mine right now.
Yeah, he wouldn't have seen that one there.
Yeah, because it's walled in.
Well, he might have.
He did start the trade route you were talking about.
Oh, he's...
And how much does he get? I can't see. 35, it's not a lot. Is it really only 35?
Yeah, I'm surprised it's only 35, but
47.
47.
47.
That's more right.
There must be a market close to nearby or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
Kimo still hasn't found that gold mine. So unfortunate for him.
Well, with the economy that Kimo's got right now, 55 villages, 12 fishing ships, 16 camel caravans. He's just stretched so thin, and while he can afford to get himself champion chariots here, he doesn't have the Migdols up, right? to get that upgrade. He's just got the one.
Oh yeah, they're getting denied too. And Nullus is... Did you see the tower he built here to deny that wood line? He's got that tower, he's got walls, and he's about to build archery ranges. He's going to get those Gastrophedes out. While he's also building towers up front here. And there are mercenary cavalry coming out, trying to deal with this Helepolis, but there's just so many military for Nullus. And
That's the
GG.
tap out. That's well played by Nullus. I was about to say, this is one of those things where if you find yourself complaining about mercenary, the answer is always towers. So mercenary of free population, towers of free population, and they also, funnily enough, get bonus damage versus the cavalry. So if you can get those up, that's how you push an Egyptian town center. And that's how you push any town center, in all honesty, but it's particularly the Egyptian town center. But Kimo almost had this game, right?
Kimo? Nullus.
No, Kimo almost had this game. If he had set up the wall, and put the catapult down, keeps that town center down, he can probably keep pushing in.
It's true. I think if he continually had 1 or 2 catapults to deny this TC from going up, he probably could have made much more of a game of it at least.
Yeah.
But once it got up, it was just too hard for Nullus to keep up.
Yeah.
For Kimo to keep up.
That's the way the cookie crumbles. Nullus up 2-0 now. If you guys enjoyed this one, thanks to Suppe for coming. If you like his voice and you like his head, he's got a great head. He's got a YouTube channel, Husk Suppe. I'll put some really great content up there. Do go and give him a follow, check him out, and I'll see you in game number 3.